If high income made people wealthy, then doctors, lawyers, and executives would all be rich. But they're not. In fact, some of the most stressed, financially trapped people you'll ever meet make six figures or more. On paper, they're winning. In real life, they're one missed paycheck away from panic. So the question isn't, how do I make more money? The real question is, why does making more money still not fix the problem? Because income and wealth are not the same thing. One is how money comes in, the other is what happens after. Most people spend their entire lives chasing a higher salary, believing that once they cross a certain number, everything will finally feel secure. And then they get there, and nothing changes. More bills, more pressure, more responsibility, same anxiety. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly why high income doesn't equal wealth, the traps that keep high earners broke, and the simple system wealthy people use that most high-income earners never build. If you've ever made more money and still felt stuck, this will explain why. High income creates the illusion of safety. When more money starts coming in, people assume the problem is solved. But all that really changed is the size of the inflow, not the structure of the system. Here's the mistake. People scale their lifestyle to match their income. Bigger house, better plar, nicer trips, more subscriptions. Everything looks successful from the outside, but underneath, the margin stays the same or gets worse. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the #1 reason high earners stay broke. When your income goes up, your obligations quietly rise with it. Fixed costs lock in. Flexibility disappears. Suddenly, the money you thought would buy freedom just bought a more expensive cage. The problem isn't spending money. The problem is spending money before you build control. Most high-income earners don't have a surplus. They have throughput. Money comes in and immediately goes out. No buffer, no runway, no leverage, just motion. And motion feels like progress, but it isn't. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how long you could survive if your income stopped tomorrow. That's the real test, and most high earners fail it instantly. Another trap is time dependency. High income is usually tied to high effort, more responsibility, more hours, more pressure. The money is good, but it only exists as long as you do. The moment you slow down, the income disappears. That's not wealth, that's fragility. High earners also confuse status with progress. They upgrade things that signal success instead of building assets that produce it. The car doesn't pay you. The house doesn't pay you. They just increase pressure. Income without ownership creates zero leverage. And without leverage, you're forced to keep working at the same intensity just to stay in place. That's why so many high-income people feel trapped. They did everything right. They worked harder, they earned more, and somehow they're still running on the same treadmill, just faster.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. High earners don't stay broke because they don't know enough about money. They stay broke because they optimize for comfort, not control. When income rises, most people ask one question: what can I afford now? Wealthy people ask a different one: how do I stop needing this income? High earners usually double down on the very thing trapping them. They work harder, take on more responsibility, say yes to more obligations. The income goes up, but so does dependence on that income. That's the trap. They build a life that only works if the money keeps flowing at the same speed. Miss a month, lose a job, get sick, or burn out, and everything breaks. Another reason is identity. Many high earners tie their self-worth to their income. They don't want to admit the system is fragile because it would mean admitting the success is too. So instead of changing the system, they distract themselves with upgrades. New car, better apartment, nicer vacations. All rewards, no reinforcement. And the most dangerous part? It feels responsible. From the outside, it looks like progress. From the inside, it's pressure. Then there's the biggest mistake of all, trading time for money forever. High income often comes from being very good at one thing, inside someone else's system. The better you get, the more valuable your time becomes, but it's still capped at 24 hours a day. No ownership, no leverage, no scale. So even at a high income, the math never changes. You stop working, the money stops. That's why high earners panic more than low earners when things slow down. They have more to lose and less flexibility. Wealth isn't about how impressive your income looks. It's about how little your life changes when income disappears. And until that gap exists, high income is just expensive insecurity.
If high income isn't the answer, then what is? Wealth comes from a system, not motivation, not discipline, not luck. Here are the 3 rules that separate high earners from wealthy people. Rule number 1. Increase income before optimizing expenses. Cutting costs helps you survive. It doesn't help you win. There's a hard ceiling on how much you can save, but no ceiling on how much you can earn. Wealthy people focus first on earning power, skills that compound, knowledge that scales, abilities the market actually pays for. They don't obsess over small expenses, they obsess over increasing their value. Rule number 2, control your burn rate, not your lifestyle. Burn rate is how much money your life requires to keep running. Wealthy people keep this number intentionally low compared to their income. That gap is everything. It creates margin. Margin creates choices. High earners inflate their lifestyle. Wealthy people protect their margin. The goal isn't to live cheaply, it's to live in a way that doesn't trap you. Rule number 3, reinvest surplus into assets and leverage. Any money left over has a job. It doesn't sit idle, it doesn't get consumed. It gets reinvested into things that produce more money, save time, or increase earning power. Skills, businesses, ownership, systems. This is where the loop forms. Income creates surplus. Surplus gets reinvested. Reinvestment increases earning power, and the cycle repeats. That's wealth. Not one big win, not a flashy lifestyle, just a boring, repeatable system that works even when you're not actively grinding. Wealthy people don't ask how rich they look. They ask how independent they are. And independence is the real flex. High income feels like progress because it looks impressive. But wealth is quieter. It's not visible. It doesn't announce itself. Wealth is margin. It's control. It's the ability to slow down without everything breaking. If your lifestyle depends on your next paycheck, you're not wealthy, no matter how big that paycheck is. And this isn't about deprivation. It's about design. Designing your income so it grows. Designing your life so it costs less than you can earn. Designing your system so money works even when you don't. Once you understand this, the goal changes. You stop chasing higher income for status, and you start building leverage for freedom. You stop upgrading your lifestyle, and you start upgrading your system. That's the shift most people never make, and why most high earners stay stuck. If this changed how you think about money, you'll want to see what comes next. Subscribe to the channel and like the video because everything here is about building real wealth, not the illusion of it.